Ever feel like you're surrounded by people, but completely alone? You scroll through social media, see all these happy groups of friends, and a little voice inside asks, "Why not me?" It's a silent struggle, this feeling of loneliness in a world that's more connected than ever. You want to reach out, to build those deep, meaningful friendships, but something holds you back. It's like there's an invisible wall between you and everyone else. Today, we're going to talk about that wall. We're going to understand what it's made of, and more importantly, how to start taking it down, brick by brick. This isn't about becoming a social butterfly overnight. It's about finding the courage to take that first small step toward authentic connection. Let's start by getting into the psychology of it all. For many of us, that invisible wall is built with social anxiety. It's more than just being shy. It's a powerful fear of being judged, scrutinized, or negatively evaluated by others. When you're in a social situation, your brain goes into overdrive. What do I say? How do I stand? Are they laughing at me? This internal monologue is exhausting. It's often fueled by something psychologists call the spotlight effect. This is the tendency to believe that people are paying way more attention to you than they actually are. You trip on the sidewalk, and you reconvinced everyone saw it and is thinking about how clumsy you are for the rest of the day. In reality, most people are so wrapped up in their own worlds, their own worries, and their own spotlight effect, that they barely noticed. You're the main character in your movie, but you're just a background actor in theirs. Understanding this is a game changer. The intense scrutiny you feel is mostly coming from inside your own head. People aren't judging you as harshly as you're judging yourself. So where does this intense self-judgment and fear come from? To understand that, we often need to look back at our roots. Our early experiences, especially in childhood and adolescence, create the blueprint for how we interact with others as adults. This is often explained through attachment theory. If you had caregivers who were consistently warm and responsive, you likely developed a secure attachment style. You learned that people are generally safe and that you are worthy of love and connection. But if your early relationships were inconsistent, critical, or emotionally distant, you might have developed an insecure attachment style, like anxious or avoidant. Anxious attachment can make you crave closeness but constantly fear rejection and abandonment. Avoidant attachment, on the other hand, might lead you to believe that independence is safer and that relying on others only leads to disappointment. Past friendships that ended badly, experiences with bullying, or painful rejections can also leave deep scars. These experiences teach us lessons, but sometimes they're the wrong ones. They teach us to build our walls higher, to expect the worst from people, and to believe that being alone is safer than risking getting hurt again. Recognizing these patterns isn't about blaming the past. It's about understanding the programming that's running in the background of your social life. Okay, so we've looked at the psychology and the roots of our social struggles. It can feel heavy, I know, but here's where we make the shift. We can't change the past, but we can absolutely change our approach to the present and the future. The key is to reframe how you see social interactions. Instead of viewing every conversation as a high-stakes performance where you can either succeed or fail spectacularly, what if you saw them as low-stakes experiments? Think of yourself as a social scientist. Your hypothesis is, what happens if I ask the barista how their day is going? The goal isn't to walk away with a new best friend. The goal is simply to collect data. They smiled and answered. Interesting data. They gave a one-word reply. Also interesting data. Neither outcome is a reflection of your worth. It's just information. Start small, really small. The goal could be to make eye contact and smile at one stranger today. That's it. That's the entire experiment. Once you've done that, you can level up. Maybe next, you give a simple compliment to a cashier. "I love your earrings." Then you walk away. No pressure to continue the conversation. You're just practicing the micro skills of connection without the weight of expectation. Each small experiment builds a tiny bit of evidence that social interactions are as terrifying as your anxiety wants you to believe. You are slowly, gently, rewriting your own social programming. Another powerful tool in this reframing process is shifting your focus from internal to external. When we're anxious, all our attention is on ourselves. What do they think of me? Am I being awkward? I'm running out of things to say. This self-monitoring is draining and makes it impossible to actually connect. The antidote is curiosity. Instead of worrying about what to say, get genuinely curious about the other person. People love to talk about themselves. Ask open-ended questions. Not "Do you like this weather?" but "What's your favorite thing to do when the weather is this nice?" Listen to their answers. Really listen. Not so you can formulate your perfect response, but so you can understand them a little better. When you're focused on learning about someone else, you have less mental energy to spend on worrying about yourself. This makes you a better listener, which, by the way, is one of the most attractive qualities in a friend. People aren't looking for a perfect, polished performer. They're looking for someone who sees them, hears them, and is genuinely interested in who they are. Your curiosity can be the bridge that connects you to others. Let's also talk about the fear of rejection. It's a primal fear. In our evolutionary past, being rejected from the tribe could literally be a death sentence. So it's no wonder it feels so devastating. But we need to update our software. In today's world, rejection is not a verdict on your entire being. It's a data point about compatibility. Not everyone is going to be your person, and that is completely okay. Think about it like music. You might love classical music, but that doesn't make someone who loves heavy metal a bad person. Your tastes are just different. Social connection is the same. You might click with someone, or you might not. If someone doesn't seem interested in talking further, it doesn't mean you are unlikable. It could mean they're busy, they're having a bad day, they're introverted, or you just don't share enough in common. It is not a personal indictment. The more you practice those low-stakes experiments we talked about, the more you'll realize that most of the time, the outcome is neutral or positive. And on the rare occasion that it's negative, you'll start to see it for what it is. Not a catastrophe, but simply a mismatch. Your worth is not up for debate. It is constant and inherent, regardless of who wants to be your friend. Now, let's bring it all together. What is the single most important ingredient in this entire journey? It's self-compassion. This process is not linear. There will be days when you feel brave and venture out, and there will be days when the thought of leaving your house feels impossible. On those hard days, it's so easy to fall back into self-criticism. See, I can't do this. I'm hopeless. That's your old programming talking. The compassionate response is to treat yourself like you would treat a good friend who is struggling. You wouldn't tell them they're a failure. You'd say, "It's okay. You're trying something really hard. It's understandable that you feel scared. Let's rest today, and maybe try a smaller step tomorrow." Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. You made eye contact with someone. that is a huge win. You asked a question. Amazing. You survived a slightly awkward conversation. You are a champion. You have to be your own biggest cheerleader because, for a long time, you've been your own biggest critic. This journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's not about putting on a mask of confidence. It's about peeling back the layers of fear and anxiety to let the real, authentic you shine through. Because the real you is worthy of connection. The real you is enough. So, here is your call to action. It's not to go out and make 5 new friends this week. It's much simpler. Today, I want you to choose one tiny, low-stakes social experiment. Just one. Maybe it's sending a text to an old acquaintance you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe it's complimenting a stranger. Maybe it's just smiling at someone in the grocery store. Whatever it is, choose it, do it, and then this is the important part, be kind to yourself, no matter the outcome. The goal isn't to get a specific reaction. The goal is to prove to yourself that you can take a step. Building a fulfilling social life starts with that single step, followed by another and another. It's a journey of 1,000 small acts of courage. You're not broken, and you're not alone in feeling this way. You just need to give yourself permission to try. Thank you so much for watching and for being here today. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content on navigating life and building meaningful connections. Take care of yourself, and remember, you've got this.